Hello, it's Phil at digitaldjtips.com with a quick video overview of a piece of software called UltraMixer. Now, UltraMixer is one of those names in DJing that you might not have heard of, but they've actually been around for quite a while. And the reason we're looking at this now is that the DJ software that they make, which is now UltraMixer 5S, has kind of come on a little bit recently. It's got a whole new video engine in there. You'll find out in a minute where its strengths and weaknesses are, but video is one of its strengths. And it's also working with a lot of very modern controllers. This is a Reloop Beatpad 2, only just out, and that works with it, as in a lot of Pioneer controllers. They're even talking about support for the Pioneer CDJ 2000 Nexus. So it's kind of like been pushed to the fore by the people who make it, so I thought it would be a good time to look at it. Now, UltraMixer is all about the DJ entertainer end of the market. So if you're a karaoke DJ, you play videos, you're a mobile or corporate DJ, you use microphones a lot, you use a lot of playlists, you're maybe not stood behind your decks larging it up for the majority of what you do. You're kind of comparing the entertainment for the whole evening, where DJing itself, as we kind of traditionally talk about it, where you're mixing, is only a small part of it. This is the kind of software that's going to appeal to you. So it's got features that you don't find in things like Traktor and Serato, for instance. And then that said, there's stuff that you can find in those kinds of software that isn't in this. So anyway, let's talk about it. Let's get in and have a look at it. So after the rather clunky download, I got forced to download and install Java as well, which I was surprised at. We get to see the main screen of the software. It's quite attractive, if a little bit old-fashioned, but it's got color waveforms at the top, across the top in parallel, and you've got these two decks here. It's two-deck software. The first thing I want to point out is these two windows here. These are playlist windows. I've only got one track in each of them, but that doesn't have to be the case. So I could go and add music from my iTunes files, for instance, select a few songs that I want to play, and I can add those to the playlist here, and I can move them around. So I've now got an auto playlist. I can just click play and it'll continue to play through those, or I can click this DJ party button at the bottom here, which has the effect of playing from deck to deck. And this is something that I've not seen in any DJ software. I could add a whole playlist here, straight playlist that I've prepared beforehand. But at the moment, I'm just using my iTunes files to show you this. So I've got a playlist here and a playlist here. I could sit here and DJ these songs myself. We've got our cues, we've got our loops, we've got our pitch control, our master tempo, nudge, sync, all the stuff you'd expect on a deck here, and the parallel waveforms to help with DJ mixing and beat mixing. Or I could just click auto and it will auto mix from left to right to left to right. So basically, if I get pulled away from what I was planning on playing, this will just carry on playing it for me. It's an example of the kind of DJ stroke entertainer feature, which is going to be useful for that market, not so useful for the club market, where of course you wouldn't let auto mix do your job for you. But certainly if you're comparing an event, this is going to be highly useful stuff. Talking of auto mix, the auto mix section down here has got a sync, so it can automatically sync your tunes, and you can set when it does and doesn't do that depending on the BPMs. You can automatically jump to the next tune, and there's also a talk over button here that will dim down the two faders so that the whole lot dims so you can speak on your microphone. Strange layout of this software in that we've got mixer and stuff at the bottom here where you normally see a library, but that's because of these two playlist views here. And you can actually hide the mixer if you want entirely. So maybe you're DJing with hardware and you don't need to see the mixer at all. You can get rid of it like that. But down here's the mixer, so we've got high, mid and low with kills. We've got a pan, which is nice to see. You don't often see that on DJ mixers. And we've got a monitor volume and a gain down here. We've also got a flange effect, and we've got a filter effect, which has got a cut and a resonator at the bottom here. So the effects are pretty limited, but that's, in all honesty, apart from maybe having a reverb for the microphone, that's pretty much all you're going to need down there. So that's the basic mixing functions. I want to show you where I think this shines, and I've actually shown you one of the areas. It's the two playlists. This is unique. This is unusual. This is going to appeal to the mobile people and the people who can't actually stand there and physically mix all the time. You don't get this on Traktor or Serato, and I like that. I've also shown you the auto mix, but I also want to show you, we're going to go into what's called a waitlist view. Now, if I now turn off the mixer, this is going to look a bit more like standard DJ software to you, but with a difference. And the difference is, well, I've just showed you one of the things you can do. You can decide what you want to show here, so you can show your comments and you can show your album art and all that kind of thing if you want to. But what I wanted to show you was the wait list. If I click on the wait list and lay my screen out like this, this is a bit more standard looking in that you've got your library at the bottom, and I've hidden the playlists. I've hidden this view. But down here we've got our file tree. We've got our main library here, But here we've got a wait list, which is a bit like a preparation window, but there's also a wish list here. And this wish list is what I would use for pulling across requests that people have, that people are wishing you're going to play. You don't know if you're going to play them or not. So you've kind of got that 2 layers of preparation list here, a request list if you like, and a wait list, and I think that's nice. And also along those lines, you can actually pull up a notepad, so you can make notes of requests and people's names for birthdays and all that kind of thing. This is mobile DJ stuff through and through, and I've never seen that on DJ software before, having a notepad there. I think that's nice. While we're down in this area of the software, let me show you these areas here. Now this inputs area is well done as well. We've got 3 inputs here, so assuming you have a sound card plugged in that can have 3 inputs, we could use these for microphones typically, and these are fully featured. So we can decide in this section here what comes into these inputs and how it's routed. And you can turn them on and off here. There's a full 3-band EQ and the same kind of stuff that we saw from the main channels here, and a volume for these as well. So you've got 3 of those. And let me show you the outputs as well. Now this is the master output section. Again, something you really don't often see on DJ software. I haven't seen any of this, some of this on any DJ software. So here we've got a 31-band EQ. Now why would you want a 31-band EQ on DJ software? Well, the reason is that if you are DJing straight into a PA system, let's face it, mobile guys, corporate guys, people who are hired to come and play somewhere, you don't know what you're going to turn up to. And if you've got to plug straight into a PA system and it's badly EQ'd, you're going to have to be using your bass, mid and treble all night long in your DJ software just to get it to sound half decent. So this is really good because you can spend a bit of time EQing the room here, and then later on when it's full up you can re-EQ it here, and it means you can DJ with all your EQs at 12 o'clock generally throughout the night. I think that's a really nice thing to see in DJ software. Also down here we have recording, but we also have broadcasting, and that's done really nicely as well. So in the broadcasting section, for instance, you've got automatic configurations for mixed, shoutcast and icecast, and you can, so straight from the software you can broadcast on any of those systems. But check this out as well. Here we have compression and normalization. You don't see this in DJ software normally either. This is over the whole output, and it lets you compress it and also add a normalizer to make sure your levels are nice and loud and clear depending on where you're playing. So for instance, for a radio broadcast, you've got some presets here. So if none of this stuff means very much to you, you can just set it to suit the venue you're in, and it'll set the compressor and normalizer there. And you can also load and save your favorite settings there as well. And also down here is our master output here, where we've just got our master volume and gain. So again, a highly featured output as part of this input and output at the bottom of the screen here. Now, another thing I wanted to show you that differentiates this from other DJ software is the video stuff. So up here we have a couple of windows that we can turn on and off. We've got the notes one that you've already seen. I could put a video preview window up, and this is going to give me, let's just start something playing there. So here's video playing in the background for the track I've got playing, and it's auto beat matched to that track. We can split it out and look at what's here. Of course, we plug in a external HDMI screen or something. If you're in a venue that's got screens all around, of course, this is going to be plugged straight into there, but you can monitor what's actually going out on your screens. You can, of course, video mix. You can use videos. You can use karaoke as well down here. There's karaoke and DJ settings at the bottom. But the thing I wanted to show you was how versatile this is. So for instance, let's go into the settings here and look at video. So in here, we've got all these visuals that we can show. Look at them all. There's loads and loads and loads of them. And we can also add in here text. So there's logos here. We can add our logo. We can put it in the top corner. We can put in actual live text. So we can type in people's birthdays here, or just type in, hi Phil, and have that showing on the screen. And there's text control over that and stuff as well. And there's the logo. I could change that for the digital DJ Tips logo if I wanted. I'm not going to do that, but I could do. We can also, in this section, put in our slideshow from any set of photos on our drive. So let's assume you're at a kiddie's birthday party and they've got a load of nice pictures of little Johnny and his mates. Stick them all in a folder there, and you can have them showing on screens all the way around the place all night long. It's mobile DJ stuff, it's DJ entertainer stuff, and I haven't seen this elsewhere either. So you can also have a webcam playing live. So you can plug a webcam in and point that at your crowd or point that somewhere else. You know, if you're DJing a wedding and you've got a best man speech, you can have this pointing at the best man or the father of the bride and show him on the big screens as well as having the voice coming through one of your inputs. So I'm just trying to show you here some of the things that are unusual in this software and you certainly don't find in Traktor, Serato and so on. You can have lighting controllers in here as well. So if you've got a setup where you own the PA, you own the lights, and this is the center of it, you can have this one piece of software controlling everything for you. Now, I'm going to show you the sampler as well, because again, this is a very mobile DJ sampler. So the sampler comes up like this, and it's got all the usual kind of cheesy stuff in. But it's also got like applause. It's got, you can't really hear that, but believe me, there's like 5 or 6 or 7 different types of applause, from like 3 or 4 people clapping to a whole football stadium going crazy. Very mobile DJ centric stuff, but you can also have sample banks that you set as defaults, and you can load and save your own samples in here, of course, as well. So while we are looking at samples and while we're looking at the preferences for those, let's look at some of the other preferences that are in the software. So audio settings, audio routing is pretty good for input and output. At the moment, there's only one input possible, which is a built-in microphone, because the sound card in the device I've got attached hasn't got any inputs. But the outputs are pretty comprehensive, again, depending on what you've got plugged in. We've got a reloop beat pad plugged in here and running. So that's all pretty good. The audio engine itself there has got lots of settings for compromising over quality depending upon how good your system is. So you can make time stretching sound better or worse, same with scratching and the mixer, depending on how powerful your system is. Here's that main sound card, here's the main outputs, which are all currently set to the reloop beat pad, which we're using it with. And there's the inputs. So there's the audio settings. In the appearance settings, it's just basic kind of show confirmation on quitting and stuff. But what I'm trying to show you here is the amount you can do to make this software work for you. There's lots of skins in there. There's lots of settings for different colors and different font sizes and so on. It's been designed, what it hasn't got in immediate shine, it's got in flexibility for certain. For instance, you can split off the library and pull it over to another screen. So if you've got 2 big screens in your venue, you can do that from there, no problem at all. The only other software I've seen that on is Pioneer's brand new Rekordbox DJ, for instance. Now, another thing that it shines on is File Archive. This is its system for the database, and they say that this is extremely fast, and when you're importing music here, it's very, very fast the way it works, both across the network and locally. Again, digital DJs, 500 gigabytes of music or whatever some of these venues have, where you're expected to have all the requests that people can possibly make. Having a fast database is really important. What else can we look at here? Massive keyboard mappings. You can map just about everything here. And also, if your MIDI controller isn't supported, you can map MIDI on it. We found the beat pad mapping that we're using here all right, but not brilliant. Some of the stuff didn't do what we wanted it to, like key lock, for instance, and the jog wheel control was a bit iffy. But as we said at the beginning, we don't think this is software for club DJs, really. It's certainly mainly aimed at the mobile crowd. Okay, so for who it's appealing to and for what it does, UltraMixer is good. It knows its niche and it serves it well. It ain't shiny or pretty, certainly not compared to the best of today's club DJ software, and there are a few niggles with it that I'd like to see changed. But if you want something that's rock solid, that's easily configurable, and that handles all those things well, karaoke, video, playlisting, that flexibility of output where you can put a compressor and normalizer over what's coming out, and of course all those inputs we looked at, then this is a solid choice to be considered alongside things like PC DJ and Virtual DJ, rather than the big club platforms like Traktor and Serato. So that's UltraMixer 5S Pro Entertain. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please subscribe to the channel, and if you have enjoyed digital DJ tips of late and you want to get more involved, please subscribe to us. There's a join link beneath me here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.